All right, what's up guys? Christine here. So today I wanted to make a video on responsibility and more specifically talking about taking self-responsibility. Now, why does this seem to be something that's hard for people to do or something hard for people to accept? Because it's like we're living in a world, reality, society where it's like we want to only take responsibility when it's convenient for us, because when it's not convenient, it's much easier to blame it on somebody else or blame it on something else, blame it on the government, blame, I don't know, your health issues on your doctor, blame politics because of the government. And really then we just end up abdicating responsibility for what we can then accept and allow within ourselves. So to kind of elaborate on this, it's like taking self-responsibility, like, don't get me wrong, it's not easy, because then you become the director and the person that's actually in control of your life. So it's something that's pretty straightforward. Like, the only person that you can control is you. The only person that can really take responsibility for your life is you. So when you even just breaking down the word responsibility, like it's almost like saying like your ability to respond, like you're responsible for the reactions that you have when something happens, or you're responsible for the way that you take action in your life, whether it's like taking care of your body, taking care of your family, or taking care of just anything. Like ultimately you're the director of your life. So it's, like I said, it's not 100%, especially when it's not convenient. It's easy to just give that up and blame something else, blame something outside of you. But ultimately, we are the director and we are the controller in our lives. And it's not easy, but it's 100% worth it, in my opinion, because then you actually get to create the life that you want. And I know that there's this famous saying that says, if you want to predict the future, you have to create it. And what that really takes is taking that self-responsibility, because then you start making decisions like, okay, for example, let's say that I want to lose weight. There's really no quick, easy fix to do that. It's like, well, I'm going to have to start investigating and thinking like, okay, what am I doing right now that maybe is not contributing to the way that I want to feel, the way that I want to look. Maybe I'm eating the wrong foods. Maybe I don't have enough education on what I should be doing. So I'm going to investigate that now and take that responsibility within my own hands to educate myself on what is best for my body, how I can maybe start, losing weight a little bit by being more selective of the foods that I eat. And in that sense, it's like, okay, now I can start taking responsibility in the sense that like, okay, I'm going to be controlling exactly what I'm going to be putting in my body, the action, if I'm going to be drinking more water or getting to the gym and doing some more exercise because I'm not doing that already. And just within that alone, it's like I'm taking responsibility now for my life and for the way that I want my body to be in the next like 3 to 6 months, let's just say, for example, right? So that's just really what it all really means to me. It's like you start taking responsibility for the direction of your life, and you start really, just being that director, so that you start taking control of whatever it like of you, because there's no one else who's gonna change your life or make any sort of changes in your life but you. So why not become the director of your life, so that you can fully then accept and allow and forgive yourself for everything that has led you up until this moment, especially if you haven't maybe been making the best decisions. But that's okay, because just as much as you got yourself to where you are right now, it's just as easy to change where you got yourself right now to where you want to go, right? So, it's about then taking that action, or that self-corrective then action, to then get you where you want to go, right? And there are definitely tools that can help you get along or kind of start taking that more self-responsibility. And I know just in relation to even like my background, it's like was in nutrition. And that was my first real like introduction to me, where I realized that I needed to take responsibility and control of my life, because I was suffering with all these sort of health issues, and it finally clicked to me one day when I was younger that all the things that I was doing was not actually serving me and not what was actually best for me. So I was like, okay, now what can I do differently to then change and get the results that I want in terms of like feeling better, having like just feeling better within my body, within myself, and actually just feeling healthy and good. So it's like the same. So anyway, so it's just like, really it's like about then finding the right tools and finding the right resources and finding the right people to support you to then take self-responsibility. Like, it's not necessarily to say that you even have to do it all alone, but you can definitely have ways in which that can like point you in the right direction. And I know for myself, like now as of recently, it's like, because I've been using certain tools now that I can even see even more where I can start taking more responsibility. It's like through that increasing of like, so for example, one of them being TechnoTutor. So with TechnoTutor, it's like I'm increasing my processing ability, my level of awareness, because I'm increasing literally the number of words that I know. So the more things that I know, the more I'm able to then take responsibility for more things in my life, because you're just becoming more aware of those things, right? So that just naturally increases your ability to, just to take on more responsibility. So, and with that as well, like just kind of realizing like, okay, not just on like the micro level, like within myself, but on the macro scale, like within this world, like what more responsibility can I then take to actually make a difference and make a change in this world? And I realized that something that I could do because of the position that I'm in, like we are, if you're watching this video, you are in like the 1% of the people that make over $30,000 a year. That means you're in the 1% of the richest people in the world. So we're in a position where we actually can start doing things to then change the bigger picture and where this world is going. So anyways, taking self-responsibility. It's just like, what can we start doing within ourselves to actually take on more, so that we can actually then change not only like the little things within our lives, but actually then have a greater impact globally. Because right now, there's not that many people who are taking enough self-responsibility, like even with something like COVID, where people are totally abdicating responsibility even for their health. And then that bigger implication that's having for people then dying daily because of preventable causes that can be totally just avoided. And it's through that, like, well, everyone thinks like, well, it's not a big deal if I don't worry about it. But really it's like, no. We're here all together on this earth, and we are like, we're all connected. And just because I choose not to look at something, or I choose not to take responsibility for something, it's like, well, who really knows like what that is going to affect on someone else in this world. So I think that's all I'm going to say on this for now, because I think that the most important thing is realizing like, okay, where can you start taking more self-responsibility? And it can be on the smallest thing. Like I always like to go back to taking care of your health, because that's the easiest, well, not the easiest, but like one of the things that you can really see actual results quickly. But then also like, okay, what can you do for others, or like what can you do that can help to support other people as well, to maybe start taking responsibility for themselves. So I know that something that I've also taken on is like supporting people with TechnoTutor, supporting people in the self-perfected group, because together we are collectively taking more responsibility to actually make a real change in this world, and realizing that there's not enough people doing that. And with the way that things are going right now, it's like we are literally leading humanity on a path to destruction. And if we don't start actually changing things by taking responsibility of like, okay, what can I do to actually make a difference, then we're in big trouble, basically. And that is unacceptable. And I think it's time for us to really stand up and wake up that if we don't start taking responsibility for our own lives, then who else is going to? So yeah, if you have any questions, you want to reach out and chat, always I'm here. I will be posting the link for the Self-Perfected group as well as TechnoTutor and some other videos that I've made on my YouTube page. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next video.